The second half of an MFL season is a completely different challenge to the first half of a season. The first half of the season, you play 11 league games and you play 6 cup games. Regardless of how you do in the cup, you play 6 cup games in the group stage. And the second half of the season, if you're out of the cup, it's only 11 league games you have. If you're still in the cup, it's a completely different type of challenge as well, because you've got much more competitive cup games because you're now in the knockout stages of the cup. So in general, the second half of the season is a lot harder than the first. For us, the second half of the season is a lot harder this season because we are genuinely challenging for promotion for the first time in our MFL history. The 2 previous seasons, we've finished mid-table and we've been okay with that. That's been growth, slow growth, but this season we are top of the league at the halfway point. But as I've said before, the second half of the season is completely different because the other teams around you, they strengthen players, they bring in new signings in the transfer window mid-season. We're all allowed to bring in 3 new signings in the transfer window. However, we don't have the biggest budget in MFL, so we've not made any signings in the halfway point of the season. And I'm using that to our advantage. The team is settled. The team is happy. I don't want to bring in new faces just for the sake of it. So we haven't brought in any new faces in the halfway point of the season. However, our rivals have. The teams breathing down our necks have brought in strong competitive players because they want to push us all the way. So we've got 11 games left of the season and it could be 11 cup finals. We don't know how far the season's going to go. Ideally, obviously, we'd like to win the league as early as possible. However, it could go down to the final game of the season. And the final game of the season is against the team that are currently second place. I know. All the pundits are saying it's between us and the team that are currently second. We play them on the final game of the season. And as a manager, ideally, I'd like it if we didn't have to play that game as the title decider. I'd really want us to win the league as quickly as possible, but I know this is MFL. I know we're going to need to rotate our team. We can't play our strongest team every week. We don't have that kind of squad depth like a lot of other teams have. So I think all of our rivals are going to be watching us this second half of the season, hoping they can take some points, hoping in those games when we have to rest players, that's the time when we drop points. That's what they're going to be hoping. However, my message to the players is if we win our games, we're going to win the league. It's in our hands now. We're top of the league at the halfway point. Let's see if we can keep this going. It's in our hands.
The first game of the season restart starts well, with the captain Koja putting the team ahead. It's a close game between 2 teams fighting for the title, and in the second half, Glenn Forsyth equalises for the visitors. Then, deep into injury time, the ball comes to Bonnie and he scores an incredible goal to give the team a precious win.
A great win yesterday against Rio, a really close game against a title contender as well. So it was a great start to the second half of the season for us. We know we've got to keep this going, but to do it against one of the teams that are pushing us for the title, it's a big statement win for us. And it does show you as well that how the other teams around us are strengthened. We beat them 2-0 in the first game earlier in the season, and they've strengthened like a lot of our title rivals have. And you can see that in this game it was 2-1, so it was a little bit closer, but we've still got that little bit of quality which we are refining, which we are perfecting, which we are polishing to make sure that even though we've not quite strengthened this mid-season, we've still got enough to win close games like that. So delighted with the win. It's a good start to the second half of the season. Next up, we're playing the team bottom of the table, so it's a good chance for us to rest a few players, and whenever we do that, there is a bit of a risk that we could drop a few points because our depth in our squad isn't as good as other teams in our league, but we do believe in our first 11 to outdo a lot of other teams in the league. So let's see how it goes. Tomorrow against bottom of the table team, we will be resting some players. We will be keeping our squad fresh because there's 10 games left now, and we need to keep all of our players fresh, as fit as possible, so we are ready for this title push. But fantastic start to the second half of the season. The boys are out there, they look lively. There's a great team chemistry. Not signing any players in the mid-season window has allowed the boys out there that know each other. There's no settling in period. There's no new faces that need time to bed in. Everyone out there knows each other. They've been playing with each other for half a season now, and hopefully they can keep that team chemistry going for these next 10 games.
The next game against bottom of the table Climbing Tiger starts disastrously as the hosts go 1-up. However, the Butcher, who's playing as captain this game, manages to save a point. The next game against Kappa FC starts much better, with Del Rio putting the team ahead. Not long after, Sheriff plays an amazing ball to Alfonso, who puts the team 2 ahead. Alfonso then turns provider as Koja makes it 3-0. In the second half, the hosts are more organised and manage to get a goal back. But any hope of a comeback is extinguished when Koja forces an own goal. Koja isn't done there though, and on 86 minutes he gets his second. It's an important win for the team and maintains their 9-point lead at the top of the table, with Ark and Rame and Houston Vortex level on points.
Do I feel pressure? I think I do. I think I wouldn't be human if I didn't feel a little bit of pressure, especially now when I've never been involved in an MFL title race. This is the first time I've ever led a team in an MFL title battle. So of course there's some nerves there. I think it'd be worrying if I didn't feel any nerves. I think, that's kind of a good thing. You've got to use that as motivation. You've got to use that as fuel. And in our last 2 games, I was disappointed with the draw, obviously, against a team towards the bottom of the table. We rested players, but we still should have got a win there. However, we didn't lose. And I think drawing that game gave us some confidence that we still didn't lose. And against Kappa in the last game, they're a team that are fighting for promotion. They are in the promotion race. They are battling for a top 3 finish. So that was a tough game, and we did really well to win that game. However, now we've got 2 kind of easier games, easier fixtures. And while there are no easy games in MFL, I have to now rest some of those first team players because we've got a really tricky run after these 2 games where we're playing teams in the top of the half of the table. We're playing teams fighting for promotion. And if we want to win this league, we need to be at our best in those games. So I'm going to have to take a little bit of a calculated risk now and in the next 2 games rest some players. However, I don't want the players to be coming into the team to be thinking, okay, he's throwing the games. The manager's happy with a defeat. I'm absolutely not happy with a defeat. I do not want to lose these next 2 games. I want to get something from these 2 games and then put us in the best possible position for the title push after these games. So yes, I'm feeling a little bit of pressure. Yes, I'm feeling a bit of nerves. I'm trying not to transmit that to the players. I'm trying to keep a confident mood in training. The players, they're young, they're full of confidence. They don't really feel the pressure like I think us managers feel it. So hopefully they can keep that going and we can keep this momentum going. We still haven't lost the game all season. So if we can keep this run going, we'll be putting ourselves in a good position to push for the title. So good luck to the players out there, and I hope they don't pick up on some of the nerves that might be creeping here at my house anyway.
The game against Klopp Skreek starts well, with Koja scoring an incredible goal from outside the box. The lead doesn't last long, however, and shortly after, the visitors equalise. The team seem to lose their heads, and a defensive mistake sees the visitors go 2-1 up. With many first-team players rested, the team are relieved that Koja wasn't, and he's able to save a draw. More players are rested for the next game against Schalke, and the team take the lead thanks to Alfonso. It's another disappointing day at the office, however, and deep into injury time, the team concede an equaliser. 2 draws in a row now means the team lead has now been cut to 5 points, and the manager is beginning to question his players.
It's unacceptable. It's absolutely an unacceptable performance. 2 games in a row now, 2 unacceptable performances, and I've not spoken to the players yet. I'll be going in the dressing room after this and going to speak to those players, and I'm going to be asking them a question, and it's going to be, do you want to win this league title? Do you want to win the title? Because the last 2 games, today's performance, we are not playing like a team that want to win the league title. And yes, in the last game, there's quite a few players rested. This game just gone, there wasn't that many players rested. We had first team players out there. And even if it was a fully rested team, I'd still be asking the first team players to be motivating those players to say, listen, the backup players, the bench players, if we do win the league title, you're going to be getting a league medal. Do you want that league medal? Do you want something to be able to say we were part of a team that won the title? Because the last 2 games have not been performances that say this team want to win the league title. I'd like to apologize to the fans. It's not been good enough. I don't know if they're getting nervous right now. I don't know if legs are starting to get tired. I don't know if mentally they're starting to wobble slightly, but this is not the time to start doing that. And this is not the mentality I've been drilling into this team all season. So once again, I'm going to be asking them, do you want to win this league title? I want publicly it to be known that that's what I'm going to be saying to the players tomorrow. In training, we're going to be working extra hard. The first team players are going to be in the team right now. There's going to be no more rotation. The first team will be back for next game, and the remaining games, no one's getting rested. We're going to be playing through tired legs. No one is getting rested until we've won this league title. So the players need to step it up, because once again, do they want to win the league title? Thank you.
For the next league game against Houston Vortex, Amreezy puts his first team out. Although the recent results have been disappointing, it does mean that legs are fresh. Playing with fire in their belly, it only takes 10 minutes for Koja to score another goal outside the box. Then, 7 minutes later, a cross comes in and Koja gets his second. It's a much better performance, and Alfonso puts the ball into the box and Del Rio makes it 3-0. Only 2 minutes later, Del Rio then turns provider as Koja gets his hat-trick. It's a frantic first half, and on 38 minutes, the hosts get a goal back. This time, however, the team keep their heads and end up winning 5-1. The victory is made even sweeter, as after the game, the team find out that second place Arkham Reign lost their game, and the team go 8 points clear at the top. The next game, the team continue to play with fire and purpose, and Koja puts the team 1-0 up. It's been a season to remember for the captain, and he shortly puts the team 2-0 up. Then, in the second half, to secure his hat-trick, Koja scores a screamer from outside the box. 2 minutes later, the team get the ball back and Sheriff puts the team 4-0 up. An impressive performance is sealed by the captain Koja as the team win 5-0.
Yeah, I'm in a much better mood now than I think the last time you may have seen me. I think looking back at that press conference I did, that did get a little bit of criticism for how I was a bit harsh on some of my players. I think, that each manager is different. Each manager will criticize their team in different ways. How I manage my team that's up to me. I'll never change based on what people are saying, how I'm running my team. I run my team the way I best see fit. And I think my players needed a bit of a word. They needed a telling off. They needed a public lambasting, I believe some people called it. And in my eyes, it worked. We saw 2 disappointing results. I had to speak to the players, and it wasn't just that press conference where I was very critical of my players. The next days in training, I was very harsh on some of those players, and some of those players needed it, and I got the response I wanted. The next 2 games, we got 2 victories. So I suppose there's some method in the madness, I suppose you should say. But, none of my players have ever had a serious problem with me. Whenever I've told them, what I think most of the players have agreed. When we did draw those 2 games, everyone came into training the next day, and fair play to this team. They all wanted to set things right. They didn't need me to tell them off. They were telling themselves off. In training, they were holding themselves responsible for lots of mistakes, and I was really proud to see that. Really proud of the last 2 wins we've got. And we're now in a position where if we win our next game, mathematically, we could win the title. So this is a huge moment for our club. We've got to keep the last 2 games as momentum. We've got to keep those wins as confidence. We're putting out another first team game. Obviously, first team squad for the next game is a no-brainer. Even though some legs are getting tired, we have to wrap up this league title as quickly as we can. We don't want it to go to the last game of the season, especially playing a team breathing down our necks. So hopefully the boys are fired up now. We're in a much better place mentally, confidence-wise, going into this next game. And if we can win and results go our way, we could be league champions after our next game. So I hope the next time I speak to you guys, we are Spark League champions.
The most important game of the season starts well. After 7 minutes, Lucy puts the team 1-0 up. Not long after, a free kick from Del Rio is finished off by Koja. Shortly after, a party atmosphere starts to develop as Alfonso puts the team 3-0 up. The team are playing with confidence and style and are determined to win the league in style, and Koja puts the team 4-0 up. In the second half, an impressive goal from Alfonso puts the team 5-0 up. Alfonso then gets his hat-trick with another impressive goal outside the box. The game eventually finishes 7-0 as the team win the league in style. The team win the league after 19 games played, and with 3 games to spare, no matter what happens, thanks to their 10-point lead, they have already won the league.
How does it feel to be what? I'm sorry, can you say that again? I just like hearing it. I like hearing other people say it. How does it feel to be league champions? Incredible, amazing. We're on cloud 9. This is obviously the highlight of my MFL career. This is, for most of these players out there, the best moment of their careers. Hopefully the start of many successful periods of their career, this first of many trophies that a lot of them will win. But it's an incredible moment. It's a fantastic moment for our fans who have been watching us for 3 seasons now and been very patient with us as we've been developing and growing at a slow pace. It's this victory, this title is for them. We're delighted, obviously. We're delighted for the fans. We're delighted for all of the AFC Amreezy players, all of the loans that we've brought in over the years, everyone who's helped us gradually get to this point. You know, we want to thank all the MFL managers and agents out there who've loaned us players, who've done good business with us. And this is a fantastic win. It's a fantastic advertisement for being an organized club in MFL and being patient and growing slowly, sticking to your guns, sticking to your tactical philosophies, giving everybody a chance in the squad, giving young players a chance. This is a really young squad. We've got nobody over 30 years old here. This is a really young squad who can become a huge force now in this league. And to win like that, 7-0, to win like that is, I think it says what we're all about. This season we have been entertainers, led by the main man himself over there, still celebrating, still singing, Mr. Koja. He sums up everything we've been about this season. An entertainer, a performer. We've given the fans, I'd like to think, some entertaining moments this year, and we are so happy to be league champions. So it's going to be a light training session today. I'm not going to lie. The boys are still nursing a few hangovers, and we've got to be professional. We've got 3 more games of the season, but what a luxury position to be in, to have won the title with 3 games to spare. That final game of the season could have potentially been a real nail-biter against second-place team. It could have been a really nerve-wracking game, so I'm glad for my heart rate, personally, that we don't have to play that game as a title decider, and we can just enjoy the rest of the season now and start thinking now about next season. So we'll enjoy this moment now, and then we'll start planning for next season.
The next game, the team lose 4-3 in a close game against Puggy Blinders. The penultimate game is the final home game of the season and the team win in style 7-0. Final game of the season is not the title decider the team once thought it could be, and the team are able to rest a few players and end up losing 3-0. The season is over and the team end up winning the league by 4 points. Despite losing a few games towards the end of the season, it's a season the team can be very proud of.
Last interview of the season. Yeah, no. Yeah, you're going to miss me. Admit it. But to sum up the season, I think obviously winning our first ever league title is something that I think all of these players are going to look back on when they retire, when their careers are over. They'll look back on this season as an incredible season, a season with a really young squad, a hungry squad that were determined to get out of this Spark division. We've had a couple of seasons in this division where we've done okay, we've been progressing slowly, but this season was a step up, and with that comes a completely different type of pressure. And I'm really proud of the squad that we've built here. They've shown a lot of character this season. We were predicted to finish second. We were one of the favorites to go up this year, but that's not a guarantee that you're going to get promoted. There's a lot of teams that were predicted to do really well this year that haven't quite done as well as they were predicted to do. So predictions are one thing, but actually going out there week after week, getting wins, winning a league is a really hard thing in MFL. You've got to turn up every day. And I think we have done that this season. Yes, there's been times when we've not been perfect, and the perfectionist in me is going to be going over those kind of issues in pre-season for next year now, looking at where we perhaps need improving, where did we go wrong, where did we drop points, because next season is going to be a lot more difficult in another league. However, that's something I don't want my players to be thinking about now. Now's a time for celebration, to enjoy the pre-season, enjoy the rest, because we've had an amazing season. I think individually our players have won Golden Boot, top scorer went to Koja, fantastic season once again from our captain. We wouldn't be here without Koja. I don't think it's any secret that he has led this team now for 3 seasons, captain for 3 seasons, and he's justly getting the rewards he deserves right now. So Golden Boot for him is fantastic. Top assists went to Alfonso, an incredible season for him. He's been on loan for the past 2 seasons, so this was the first season we've actually played with him in the squad, and he's come back to us a complete player, fully rounded player, winning the top assists by quite some distance as well, by the way. So congratulations to him. And in goal as well, a little bit like Alfonso, Luis in goal. Last 2 seasons he hasn't been at the club. He's been on loan, developing, came back hungry, determined to finally show the AFC Amreezy fans what he's capable of. A very young goalkeeper, and for him to get the Golden Glove, it's his 2nd Golden Glove. He won another Golden Glove while he was out on loan, so for him to get one this season, and for the club to sweep up the awards, league title, all 3 awards in the player trophies, it's fantastic. It's really great, and what a season it's been. I'd like to thank the fans who have watched us this season. I'd like to thank all of the well-wishers we've had in the MFL community. Lots of people, not just AFC Amreezy fans, but many other MFL fans from other teams in other leagues have seen our story, have been very supportive, and I'd like to thank anyone that's given us a supportive message across our social sites, across our documentary sites. You guys have been posting our documentary videos, and we've been very grateful for that and all the support that's received. So fantastic season. I can't wait to see where this team goes next. I can't wait to see who we add. The challenges we face in another league are going to be very difficult, but looking at this group of players, I think they've got what it takes to become an MFL force.